Okay, in the picture, all right. Actually-
You see the results.
I think, let's see.
Before I do my credit, I gotta wish it was.
Oh, no. You don't want to go over here,
Okay.
because it's all the way over there. All right,
Also, just space, I thought I'd fill up.
no, that's perfect. All right, so let's get started here. Sorry, I should have warned you we're standing up. All right, now we're standing up. It's all right, it's early. Takes a minute. Okay, so let's start, we're gonna start with cat and cow. Feet can be hip width or so apart. Hands are below the shoulder. Take a nice inhale and exhale. And then let's start moving. So we're gonna bend the knees, drop the chin, send the shoulder blades to the back wall. That's our exhale cat. And then on the inhale, reverse the curve, looking up towards the ceiling. You can straighten the legs. This is our cow. Then we're just gonna go back and forth between the two, waking up the spine, using the breath. Inhale, looking up, and exhale back down. Excellent. All right, so when you're ready, we'll release that one, and then we're gonna do our laterals. So we're gonna do one side at a time. Feet can come out a little bit wider because we're changing the center of gravity here. And we'll do 10 to each side. So it doesn't matter which side you start with, we're gonna do both sides. We're gonna inhale this loose arm up and over, and then exhale, bring it back. So moving nice and slow. And I forgot to count, I think that was 3.
Yeah, here one.
We got 2 more. And last one. Excellent. All right, switch sides. Inhale. And exhale. Two more. And last one. Oh, awesome. It's been a while. All right, so pull out in front. We're going to do a gentle twist. We're still warming up, and we don't want to go too far into the twist. We want to keep it in the higher part of the spine. So you can do it one of 2 ways. Well, I'm sure there's more than 2 ways, but just back and forth if you like that, or you can do it 1 breath per side. So that's the exhale into the twist, inhale back, exhale, twist to the other side. Excellent. Finish off evenly. And back to center. All right, so we did our first two directions, forward and back, and then we did side to side, and then we did a twist. So we need to come back to symmetrical. So let's do half sun salutation. If you don't want to do this with the pole, you can put your pole down to your side. If an option to do that at any point in time, not just with this one. Anytime you're like, nah, I'm done, is totally fine. So we're gonna do half sun salutation, do it with the pole. We're gonna go nice and slow since we're still kind of on the warming up curve here. And let's just do it. So we're gonna inhale, arms come up. Exhale, we're hinging at the hip joint, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Option here to keep the pole by the legs or keep the pole arms by the ears. And then we're gonna exhale, back down again. Inhale, coming all the way up. And then exhale, arms by your side. All right, let's do two more. Inhale. And exhale, fold forward. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold forward. Bend the knees. Inhale, arms come all the way up. And then exhale, arms down by your side. Nice, one more time. Inhale. And exhale. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold forward. Bend the knees. Inhale, arms coming up. And exhale, back down by your sides. Excellent. Okay. Let's do some balance next. All right. Let's start with our moving balance first. So here's some of the options. So we're going to do palm tree pose. And that one you can do just the feet, just coming up on the toes while you're holding onto the pole. If your feet are bothering you, I'm going to do just the arms. Inhale, arms up. And again, you can do this without the pole if balance is an issue. Okay, and then third option is putting both together. Inhale and exhale. Excellent. Let's do one or two more. Excellent. And last one. Nice. All right. Let's see. We're going to do the next one, our Karate Kid flying crane. Let's do it kind of like a march. Many options. If you have a favorite, you're welcome to do that. This is what I'm going to do. Arms up, one knee up, back down, and then the other side. Excellent. We'll do one more time each side or finish off evenly. Nice. And if you want, shake it out. Excellent. All right. Let's do this one. So we're going to do the big circles with the arms. So pole in front, feet are nice and wide. We're going to bring the pole up behind the head and around. If that's too much on your shoulders, you can keep it in front. And then at some point, we're gonna switch direction. Probably did the easier one first. All right. And then let's release that one. Phew. All right, so next one, let's do shoulders. So we're gonna bring the pole on the back of the neck. And then the wrists resting on, coming over and resting. All right, and then we're just gonna make small little circles here. And then reverse direction. Excellent. And then release. All right. Since we're here doing those, let's do the hips. And we'll do some more fun yoga poses. Okay, so we're aiming for the top of the hip bones here, the iliac. And you can hold it like this out here, or you can bring the hands in closer. So the hands in closer, bringing the elbows together is going to open up that thoracic rib cage in the front. Out here, you can pull the shoulder blades together and open it up. So either way, whatever feels right. And then again, we're just gonna make little circles here. Opening up those hips. Might get down into the knees, which might feel awesome or might not. Excellent, and then reverse direction. Awesome sauce. All right. We haven't done a lot of forward folds and back bends, but since we're here and we have our hands here, let's do a quick and easy back bend. All right, so don't go too far or any further than you can get up. And if it's not in your practice today, that's okay. Just be gentle and aware of what you're up to. Okay, so we're gonna look straight ahead. On the inhale, we're gonna look up towards the ceiling, just as far as is comfortable. So you can bend the knees a little bit if that feels more stable. And then exhale, looking back towards the horizon. Nice. Let's do that 2 more times. You can go deeper if you want, or just stay the same. Inhale, looking up. And then exhale, bring it back. And one last time. Inhale. And exhale. Nice. All right, so that was a nice baby back bend, maybe a little bit deeper. So let's do a forward fold ish. Let's do dolphin pose. So hands are going to be below your shoulder. Feet are nice and wide, and we're going to bring the head below the arms if that's comfortable. Bend the knees. Exhale, drop the head down, ears below the arms. Inhale, come back up. And then just repeat. Exhale down. Inhale, coming up. Excellent. And then back to neutral. Awesome sauce. All right. Let's do tree pose and then we'll do warrior one. Okay, tree pose. So the pole can be in either arm. And you can switch if you like, or it can stay on the same side. We're gonna pick one foot. That foot's gonna get rooted into the earth. And then we're gonna start with kickstand or tripod. So checking in with this straight leg hip, nice and strong and tall. And then we're gonna move this other arm. So we're gonna inhale, you can bring that arm up and you can stay just like this, keep breathing. A couple of options. You can bring your foot up higher if you have your balance. Push the foot into the leg. And you don't wanna be resting on the knee. It's not great for your knee. You can exhale, bring the arm down and keep the arm moving, or you can keep it up. I like to move the arm because then I know I'm breathing. Excellent. One more breath here. Awesome sauce. All right, release that. You can shake out the legs, shake out the arms, anywhere that you're building up tension. All right, let's do the other side. So you can hold on to the pole on the same hand or switch, switching feet. Root that second foot down. Start with tripod pose or kickstand. Check in with that straight leg hip. This bent knee leg is open and relaxed. If you have your balance you want, you can bring that foot up higher. We grow our little branch here if you want. You can do the breathing. Inhale, bring it up. Exhale down. And one more breath. Nice. And release. Shake the feet out, or the legs, or the arms, whatever needs shaken. Awesome. Okay. Warrior one is next. So we'll start with turn one foot out, step the other foot forward. We're going to warm up the knees first before we do the big pose. And before we do the knees, let's do the feet here. So we're gonna lift the toes up, spread them out. And then if you want, you can practice putting one toe down at a time. I can do one, but not like one. It's good practice. Since we wear shoes a lot, it's nice to get a little movement in there. And then we're gonna suction cup that inner arch. So big toe side of the foot, kind of pull it up so that the toe and the heel are kind of doing some work, and then relax that side. And then the pinky toe side, that's technically an arch on that side too, so engaging that side and then relax. All right, now let's do the knee. So we're going to inhale, straight leg, exhale, bend. We're aiming for that second and third toe. We're going to keep the torso perpendicular to the floor, so we're not leaning forward over it. We want to keep that up like this. Nice. Excellent. And then we're going to push off, step back, or step that back foot forward. So turn that foot out, step that second foot forward. And you can switch hands with the pole or not, doesn't matter. All right, let's do the foot first. Lifting the toes up, spread out the toes, and then practicing putting one toe down at a time. Excellent, release that, and then we're gonna do the inner arch. big toe side of the foot, lift that up, engage those muscles and relax it. Release that side, then we'll do the pinky toe side, activate the muscles on the outer edge of the foot, and release. Excellent. All right, release that, and then let's do the knee. So we're gonna inhale the straight leg, exhale bend. We're aiming for that second and third toe, keeping the torso vertical. Gaze can be on the floor up to the horizon. We don't want to be looking up because that's going to be pinching the neck and the back. Excellent. And then we're going to push off and step it back. Nice. All right. So I'm going to add the arm. The pole is going to go in the opposite hand that the foot is in front. So I have my right foot in front, my left hand on the pole. And we're going to move the same hand, so right hand, right foot. If you have your left foot, doesn't matter, do both sides. So here we go. So we're going to inhale, bend that front knee, that same arm comes up. We're going to exhale and fold forward over that bent knee. Arm comes down. On the inhale, bring that arm up. On the exhale, straighten the leg, arm comes down. Nice, let's do that a couple more times. Inhale, bend the knee, arm comes up, exhale, fold forward. Just as far as it's comfortable, you don't have to go all the way down. Inhale, bring it back up. Exhale, arm down, straighten the knee. One more time. Inhale. And exhale. Inhale, bring it back up. Exhale, down and done. Nice. All right, step the feet back together. Go to the other side. Other foot, other arm. And here we go. So we're going to inhale, arm up, bend that front knee. Exhale, fold forward over that front knee, arm comes down. Inhale, bring the arm back up. Exhale, straighten the leg, arm comes down. And again, inhale. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale, bring it back up. Exhale, down. One more. Inhale. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale, bring it back up. Exhale, down and done. Nice. Step the feet back together. Excellent. All right, so let's do our around the world movement here. So we're going to have the pole in one hand, and we're going to go halfway around the world forward and then backwards. We'll do one side and then the other. Okay, so here we go. So halfway around the world, or kind of maybe the clock, however you want to look at it. So we're just going to step one foot forward and around, behind, and then back to center. So 5 more times. I'll let you count for yourself. Nice. And then after you finished that one, we're going to go backwards on that same foot. So back, out to the side, back to center. And 5 total. Nice. All right, we're going to switch legs and go forward and around first, and then back and around second. Here we go, 5 times each side. Here we go. Forward, out to the side, back to center. All right. Let's do reverse next. Back, out, in front, back to center. Excellent. All right. Look, I had another one for that one. That's right. Okay, so let's do warrior 2, and then we'll do our big challenge balance poses. So warrior 2, warrior 1, the pole's in front. Warrior 2, the pole's in back. So one foot in front, the other foot behind you is 90 degrees instead of 45-ish, whatever feels comfortable. And then the pole in that back arm, we're gonna bend that front knee and bring the other arm out forward. So we'll take a breath or so here, relax the shoulders, extend the fingers out, adjust the feet if needed. Excellent. And then let's do side angle pose first. We're going to bend the elbow, bring that forehand or the forearm down to the thigh. And then we're going to inhale and bring the arm up towards the ceiling, or if you want, you can go back towards the pole if you can find it. And then back to side angle pose. Excellent. Inhale back to peaceful warrior. And one more time. Side angle pose. And peaceful warrior. Excellent. Back to warrior 2. And then we'll drop that front arm and switch feet. And switch arms. All right, bend that front knee. That arm comes forward. Take a breath or so here. Relax the shoulders, extend. Bend that elbow, side angle pose. Inhale, peaceful warrior. Come back, touch the pole if you can find it. Exhale back to side angle pose. And again, inhale, peaceful warrior. And one more time through. Side angle pose. And inhale, peaceful warrior. Excellent. Back to warrior 2. Hold it for a breath or so. And then we'll drop the arms and step the feet back together. Awesome. If you want, shake the feet out. The legs, arms, torso, whatever. All right. Let's see. Let's do pigeon first. So it doesn't matter which hand the pole is in, whatever's comfortable. I'm going to start with rooting first foot. I'm going to bend the knee. So we're making a little shelf here. We're going to bring the other ankle or foot on that little shelf. So we're breathing. Not the easiest pose, I know. If you want to make this more of a challenge, if you don't, that's fine. Stay where you are. If you need to come out at any time, that's fine too. Otherwise, we're going to exhale and fold forward to our sleeping pigeon. Excellent. When you are ready to come out, we're going to inhale, push that foot down and bring the body up. Release the leg and shake it. Nice. You can switch hands if you want or keep it in the same hand. I'm going to switch feet. Root that foot down first. Bend that knee, make your little shelf. Bring that ankle or foot on the shelf. Take a little time to acclimate to your pigeon here. Getting into position. come out if you need to at any time. Otherwise, if you want to deepen your pose, you're going to exhale and fold into your sleeping pigeon. Excellent. When you're ready to come out, inhale, push that foot down, bring the body up, relax, and shake it out. All right, so next one, let's do a fabulous triangle. So in my opinion, triangle with the pole is harder. So if you want to skip the pole, you're welcome to do that. If you love it better than anything else, that's awesome. Good for you. I find this more difficult, but that's okay. So that being said, if it's too much with the pole, you can do it without. So one foot in front, other foot in the back, obviously. So the idea is that in triangle pose, this front knee is straight-ish. You can bend it a little bit or a lot, whatever you need to do. We're all in different bodies, so do what works best for you. So we're going to bring the pole in front of that front foot. And then we're going to bring this back arm up and over. So if this is your triangle holding on for dear life, that's totally fine. Just stay right there. If you want to make this more of a challenge, bring that lower hand down towards the floor. So now the trick is to then look at least towards the horizon under the arm. So we're getting a twist and a lateral in here. If that's too much, look down at the floor. But the most important thing here is to breathe and not to hyperextend that front knee. When you're ready to come out, we're going to walk the hands up, bend that front knee, and then step that back foot forward. All right, you can shake anything out. That might be super easy or might be super intense, but got to keep the breath going. All right. Other foot comes in front. Got the same hand as the foot that's in front. Bring this back hand over. Grab the pole. If you want, you can bring that lower hand down. We're going to look towards the floor or towards the horizon, opening up that upper shoulder. And most important, breathing. Excellent. When you're ready to come up, you bend that front knee, walk that lower hand up, and then step the feet together and shake it out. All right, so let's do our I won't say our hardest, because maybe not the hardest for you, but one of the most challenging poses for balance. All right, so we're going to break it down. If you can't grab your foot, grab a chair and put your foot up on the chair. Or if you have a strap, I didn't get straps out. But if you can't bring your foot up to your hand, you can bring your foot up onto a chair. Everybody needs the chair. That's right there. Okay. So pull in one hand. We're going to grab the opposite foot with a hand. And then first position for this, it is dancer pose, so it does have positions, is pointing the knee down towards the floor. If you want to add on to this and not just hold it here, you can point that knee towards that back wall. So this is getting a little bit deeper into that muscle and up into that hip flexor. And then coming back out slowly, point the knee towards the floor and then release the leg and shake it out. All right, let's do the other side. We're gonna grab that ankle or foot with the other hand, or bring that shin up onto the chair, point that knee down towards the floor. Hold this for a moment or so. And then if you want to increase the challenge here, point that knee towards that back wall. And don't forget to breathe. When you're ready to come out, we're going to point that foot, or I'm sorry, the knee towards the floor, and then release the foot and shake it out. All right. So next we're going to do pyramid pose. So again, this is knee sort of straight-ish. Do what you need to do for bending the knees. The idea with the pyramid pose is an imaginary line on the center of your yoga mat, and the feet are on either side of that mat. That might not be stable for you, so you can bring the feet out wider this way. And then the other option is, to make it more of a challenge, is bringing the feet wider apart. Okay, so you can have a small pyramid or a shorter pyramid with the feet further away. Okay, all right, so one foot in front. We're gonna bring the pole in the front, and then we're hinging at those hips, at that hip joint rather. So we're gonna inhale, and then exhale, fold forward. And you're just gonna go as far as is comfortable, and then you can get back up. The idea is both toes are pointing towards that front edge of the mat. And then to come up, we're gonna inhale, coming up with a straight spine. Excellent, all right. Bend the knees, step the feet back together. And then doing the other side. So we're going to inhale nice and tall, exhale, hinge at that hip joint. And again, coming down just as far as is comfortable. And then when you're ready to come up, you can push the feet away from each other. Inhale, coming up with a straight spine. Excellent. And then bend the knees and step the feet back together. Awesome sauce. All right. Let's do, what have we not done? All right, so we're gonna do chair pose, and then we'll come down to the floor. So option to do chair pose without your pole. And then otherwise, we're just gonna do it with the pole. So feet are, closer they are together, the more work it is. So you have to balance your balance versus building strength here. So hip joint apart, shoulder, or close together, whatever you like. So here we go. So we're gonna inhale and bring the poles up, pointing towards that opposite corner of the wall. And then on the exhale, we're gonna sit in our pretend chair. Take a couple breaths here. And then exhale, fold forward. Inhale, bring it back up. And then let's do the twist with this. So we're gonna exhale, sit in our chair, and then turn the pole one way. And it can sit on the floor or be up in the air, depending on what your back feels like doing today. Excellent. We're going to exhale, fold forward. Inhale, come back up. And then exhale to the other side. Nice. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale, bring it all the way back up. And then exhale, back down. Awesome. All right. Was there anything that I missed that you guys like? We usually do? Okay. So let's come down to the floor. If you want to do a squat, you are welcome to do that. If you're still working on your squat and you're not getting down as far as you want, you can practice with the heels up on a blanket. And then whenever you're ready, falling gracefully on the floor. There isn't really a nice, pretty way to do that. All right, so let's do some small joints. And then we'll come on and do our counter poses. Okay, so let's do the feet first. So we're gonna pull the toes towards the torso. And maybe a little bend in the knees so we're not hyperextending them. Excellent. And then release that, and we're going to do point and flex. Excellent. All right, release that. Let's do circles. Do one at a time, both together or opposites. Nice. All right. So release that. You can shake it out at any time. And then supinate and pronate. So the sole of the foot comes in towards the center line, and then the pinky toe towards the shoulder. So we're going back and forth with the bottom of the foot. You can do both together or opposites. Excellent. Release that. You can shake it out. And then we're going to finish off with our windshield wipers. Maybe noticing that movement coming all the way up into those hip joints. Excellent. Release. Shake it out. All right. Let's come up to the wrist. So if you're comfortable sitting cross-legged, you can. If you're not, you certainly don't have to. You can leave the legs out in front. So we're gonna bring the arms out in front, tuck the thumb, wrap the fingers, and make circles with the wrist. Bigger circles getting into the elbows and the shoulders. Excellent, release that, shake it out. Palms together, interlace the fingers, and make figure eights. We're going to pause for a moment, pull the hands apart, switch which fingers on top. Nice. Release that and shake it out. All right, let's do the neck next. So we're going to sit up nice and tall. Take a nice inhale. On the exhale, chin comes down to the chest. Inhale, looking up. Exhale, bring it back down. Inhale. And exhale. One more time, inhale all the way up. Exhale all the way back down. Nice, inhale back to neutral. And then let's go ear to shoulder. So we're gonna exhale first side, ear to shoulder. Inhale center, exhale second side. Inhale center, exhale back to the first side. Inhale center, exhale second side. Nice. Inhale back to center one more time each side. Exhale to the first side. You can bring that same arm out and over, resting the hand on the opposite side of the head. And we're going to use that breath. Inhale into any tension that you're finding in the neck, the shoulder, the spine. On the exhale, release the tension with the breath. Nice. When you're ready to come out, we're going to inhale. Head comes up, release the arm down. Exhale, other side. That same arm can come out and over, resting on the opposite side of the head. Again, using that breath. Inhale to any tension that you're finding in the shoulder, the neck, spine. And then using that exhale to release the tension with the breath. Excellent. When you're ready to release, inhale, head comes up, release the arm down. And then the last one with the neck here, we're going to look straight ahead. Inhale. On the exhale, looking towards the first side, chin towards the shoulder. Inhale back to center. Exhale, second side. Inhale, center. Exhale, first side. Inhale, center. Exhale, second side. Next, inhale, center one more time each side. Exhale to the first side. Inhale, center. Exhale to the second. Nice, back to center. All right, one last movement here, and then we'll come back down onto the spine. Shoulders, we're going to inhale forward and up. Exhale, down and back. Excellent. Let's reverse direction. We're going to inhale back and up. Exhale down and forward. Excellent. Couple more, either direction or straight up and down. Nice. All right. I'm going to flip my mat sideways. And then we're going to come down onto the spine. So you bring your feet up to the top of the mat. And then, if you haven't already, hands on the knees, rolling back onto the spine. And let's start with Apanasana. So option, I'm going to do one-legged. You can do both knees together. So exhale, knee comes in. Inhale, foot to the floor. And then the other side. Or if you're doing both, exhale, knees in. Inhale, knees out. So we're just moving a few inches with the two legs. Excellent. All right, so let's do here, we're bringing the arms out to a T, and then we're gonna do windshield wipers with the hips here. So feet can walk out a little bit and be either hip width distance apart or as wide as the mat, whatever feels good. And then just side to side. So exhale the knees down to the side, inhale back up to center. Excellent. And then back to center. We're going to bring the knees into the chest on the exhale. On the inhale, feet up towards the ceiling, arms overhead. We're going to point and flex the feet. Exhale, bend the knees, hands to knees. Inhale, open, point and flex. Exhale, bend the knees, hands to knees. One more time. Inhale, open, point and flex. Exhale, bend the knees, hands to knees. Excellent. Let's bring the feet down to the mat. Option to extend the legs all the way straight out. Other option is keep knees bent, feet in the mat. And then we're going to do our palm tree pose arms here. So we're going to inhale, arms up overhead to the floor above you. Exhale, arms back down by your side. Other options here is cactus arms or snow angel arms. So any of those that work, we're going to inhale, arms coming up. Exhale, arms back down. So the next time the arms are all the way up, we're going to pause here for a good morning stretch. So we're going to extend the fingers and extend the heels. Get that whole axial extension, the whole body stretch. And then we'll relax it. Arms come back down by your side and getting ready for our relaxation pose. I'm going to sit up so you can hear me better. And then let's get nice and comfortable so you can bend the knees, feet in the mat, or legs are out straight, arms down by your side or out and away from the torso. Getting any last little wiggles out. And then maybe tucking the shoulder blades under if that's comfortable. Let's do a full body relaxation, walking up the body. Relaxing each part as we go. Starting with the feet, relax the toes. Relax the tops of the feet, the soles of the feet, and the heels. Release the ankles. Relax the calves and shins. Release the knees and the space behind the knees. Relax the tops of the thighs and the backs of the thighs. Let the pelvis be heavy and sink into the earth. Relax the abdomen. Release the rib cage and let go of breath. Let the shoulders be heavy and sink into the earth. Relax the upper arms, elbows, and lower arms. Release the wrists. Relax the hands, fingers, and palms. Relax the throat and the back of the neck. Release the jaw. Smooth the forehead and face. Let any last thoughts seep out the top of the crown of the head. Let the earth's gravity hold you. Let the air around you breathe you. Take the next few moments and just be. Gently coming back into awareness. Wiggle your toes. Wiggle your fingers. If you'd like, you can roll your head side to side. When you're ready, and with an inhale, rolling over onto your right or left side. When you're ready, and again with an inhale, pushing up to a comfortable seated position. And to celebrate being back together, let's do a breath of joy to send us on our way. So hands together on the heart. We're going to inhale, hands come down, arms come up, fingertips touch, and then exhale, hands back to the heart. Let's do it 3 times. Ready? Here we go. Inhale, hands down, arms up, fingertips touch. Exhale all the way back around, hands to heart. Again, inhale, fingertips touch. Exhale, hands to heart. One more time. Inhale, fingertips touch. Exhale, hands to heart. Bring the palms together, thumbs back at the heart, and namaste.
Namaste.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you.
It's great to see you again.